Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
I may have to step back out
We
here.
are back to
you might.
Paranormal Experienced Radio. Thank you so much for being here with us and bearing with some of these exciting and dramatic glitches that we're having tonight. So, the paranormal and live radio. So much fun when they come together. So, guys,
Yes.
thank y'all for being here. For those listening, this is the Dead Zone Radio Show group of people, Michelle and Lee Poye and Dustn Coffey. They are also Rural Indiana Paranormal. So,
yes, we are.
You know, I was
look us up.
Without a doubt, they're Facebook. They are as both, and they're good folks. So, do find them, and if you find them at a con, go up and talk. They will not bite. And they probably will just...
It depends.
That's true. But they will probably just offer you a drink and sit around and talk for about 5 or 6 hours. So...
Absolutely.
Based on experience.
That's a very good possibility.
Yeah.
And that being said, you know, I had wanted to know what actually had brought you into this. And Lee, you had started. And I would like to know what it was that made you go, I think that's for me.
Well, it was like I was saying, when I was a little kid, I was raised by my grandma, my grandparents. She would let me stay up on the weekends and watch the Hammer horror films with her. I mean, I love that. I was addicted, have always been, love those old horror movies. And that just led, of course, to working at haunted houses, which Dustn and I met. That's how we met. He and I were working at different haunts throughout the years. I think it's just like a natural progression, I guess. I don't know any other way to describe it. I mean, it just seemed the thing to do. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
I think it
does.
Does
that make any sense at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I used to work as a monster in haunted houses, so I can relate. Were y'all monsters?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We were everything.
Monsters, and at the end there did tour guides, and man, I worked. I've got a couple awards for several actually for what we call P-talities.
Yeah.
And one I got a nice one for they call it a crapastrophe. We had to clear the house for that.
Oh my
little
word!
Incident there. Oh yeah. That was a good one. Yeah, we had to stop everything, open the doors, let the place air out for a while because that guy he let go good.
Oh my word! How mortifying!
Wouldn't that be horrible?
Oh,
that would be, yes.
Yeah.
We didn't just work them. I mean, we helped design, helped to build.
Oh, yeah.
Lee's an amazing artist. I mean, he a couple of guys we worked with, Bob Conley down in Linton, and a couple of guys up here in Terre Haute and whatnot. They'd be like, Lee, I need you to paint me. He's like, yeah, I can do it. They wouldn't even finish their sentence. Sure. Yeah, I can do it.
Sure. Yeah, I really do. He and I both miss those days, and
oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, back to your question. Yeah, I think that's what led me into wanting to do it. Enjoying scaring people, enjoying the fiction, the sci-fi part of it. Wanted to learn a little bit more about the real side of it. You know, I mean, what's real about this? And I'm still wondering. I still want to know. You know.
Have you seen anything that you completely could not explain that made you just say, you know what? I have
seen nothing. I have seen nothing with my 2 eyes on film, on things that I've caught on camera, only because I felt the need or heard something that made me turn. I have those. Like I said, those are on the website. There's a few on there that what can you say? I mean, it's right there. I'm a graphic designer, and I've touched nothing.
The entity that we were talking about that was standing right in front of us, that, Dustn and I could see the shadow of him. His picture is up there, There's two of them. You have both of them up there, right, Lee? They're still both
yes,
up.
on one page or the other. Yeah, they're there. Yeah.
But you can
There's
can
one.
see him
There's the one. There, yeah, there's one.
He's got a top hat on and a vest. You can see the buttons on the vest.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you could tell he was kind of a skinny guy. He wasn't a big man, but you could see him very clearly in both pictures.
Right.
And those are some of our favorite pictures when we go to do speaking events. We love to show, whatever we have, and those pictures though, that guy, people can see him. They can definitely make it out, because sometimes it's really hard. Like, no, we don't see it. But that guy, they see him.
Right. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. I mean, it's like your eyes are drawn to it.
Yes.
Immediately. And that's another thing too. We don't say, hey, do you see this right here? And we let them look and
right. Yeah, we don't work with the power of suggestion.
Well, and it's strong. You can't do
actually
it.
Pointed out stuff that we hadn't seen even sometimes.
That's always cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, there was one time that I did see a full apparition. This was before we ever did any investigating. This was unexpected. It was in our house, which this area is an old coal mine. So there's actually a story in an Indiana folklore book.
It's the Old Glory coal mine. Yeah, Old Glory coal mine.
But there's the story is that there was a guy that he worked at a coal mine, and he had one piece of equipment that was his. Everyone knew that was his, and no one used it because only he used it. Well, he had a heart attack, wasn't it, Lee?
He died at home.
And after he had passed away, though, no one, out of respect, for a while, they wouldn't touch his piece of equipment, and it would start moving on its own.
No, it was the night he died. He ran a dredge. It was the night he had his heart attack. He
died. Okay, I thought the story went that it happened for a while afterwards, but
no, it was. Go ahead.
His name was Lee, the guy that died. His name was Lee too. And Now I read that story after I seen this apparition, and I do feel that that's who I saw. But I just stepped out of my bathroom one day, and I turned towards my dining room, and standing at the edge of the kitchen into the dining room was this man. He was just standing there looking at me. We were looking dead at each other, and he had on like I don't know how to explain it, like a worker's uniform, and it was all gray and dusty looking, and he had on a cap, and he wasn't a very big man, and he wasn't an old man. He looked like he was middle-aged, but he was just looking at me, and I was not expecting that, so I did let out a little bit of a ah, and I jumped back, and Lee was in the other room. He's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I mean, it was gone just like that. But I could still see him in my mind's eye, standing there, just looking at me. But he saw me, and I saw him. And I keep wishing that it would happen again.
I find it disconcerting when they see you too.
I've ever seen something like just that actually looked like a full person standing there looking at me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it wasn't a shadow. It wasn't something in the dark. It was during the middle of the day.
Yeah, the story out of the book goes is he had his heart attack, and his fellow coworkers were completely unaware of this because he was in his machine working. And come to find out, well, no, he had died, like earlier that day, or it was the day before, I believe. And they said, well, no, he's right up there in the dredge. He's working away. And of course, that's how that went. The Old Glory coal mine. Just, I think it's a few miles southeast of Clay City, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the old strip pit where we live.
Wow.
I know I keep saying I want to do an investigation out here, but there's, neighbors and a lot of animals.
Well, yeah, that can put a damper on things.
Yeah.
But when
I don't think you would necessarily have to go very far. I mean, like you say, and once again, I've never seen anything, but you've seen it. You've seen him in our house. Brandon's seen something. So you could do your own investigation right there if you wanted to. I mean, of course, like we all know, they don't perform,
true that.
snap of a finger, so you never know what you're going to get.
That guy was just passing through, and we just happened to meet up at that exact right moment. I don't believe he's ever been around in our house again since then. I never feel anything in this house. But then again, I do cleansings all the time to make sure that there's not.
Yeah. Yeah, she does too. Absolutely, she does. Yeah, she makes us. She does us too before we start and after.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a smart thing to do.
I have a little ritual that I do. I say my prayers, and I kind of do a little meditation, try to get myself grounded, and I always, pray for protection and envision, a circle of light around all of us, and it makes me feel more comfortable, so then I have no fear going in, so that there's no opening for anything to be able to harm me. And I feel that I've gotten good enough at it now that I'm pretty sure that I'm protecting everyone that's there. I'm confident in what I'm doing now. And then afterwards, though, I always do a double. You got to always double check and make sure. So I cleanse everybody, get rid of any negativity that might be sticking to them, try to get it off. I don't want anyone going home with anything.
Work hard. Just work hard for me, though. Lots of negativity on me all the time,
Whatevs.
Yeah.
No, he's telling the truth.
Yes, yeah. I'd never lie to you. I don't lie to you.
Yeah. Well, you never have. You have pulled my chain a few times.
Yeah.
So. That's okay. Well, the protection thing is important. I had something come home with me from Fort Morgan down in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and that was, it wasn't bad, but like I came out of the bathroom and smelled cigarette smoke in our house, and none of us smoked. And the only door that was closed was my bedroom door. And I was like, I am fixing to die, because that's where everything is,
Right.
No longer. But, there was no one there. And no one had been there.
Huh.
Which, and I did just send him. Actually, what I said was, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Right.
And he was gone. So
all right.
I just told him I hoped he knew how to get back there. So what else, Dustn, why are you here doing this?
Oh, mine started a long time ago. I've been experiencing full body apparition entities for the earliest one I remember. I was probably 4 or 5. That, judging by the house we were in, I woke up. My brother's bed was next to mine, and I looked up, and in the doorway of our bedroom, there was a man standing there just